Welcome, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to your NAACP Allentown Branch Economic Development Committee meeting. Today is March 24th. Tonight, I'll be your host, and my name is Maurice Muhammad. We have some special guests with us that will be sharing some information that I think is paramount to the community, that will be able to help the community in a way to level the playing fields. As you're aware, homeownership is the vehicle to wealth building. One of the vehicles to wealth building, home ownership. And I just wanted to start out just by introducing myself. My name is Maurice Muhammad. As I stated earlier, I'm a real estate broker, multi-state real estate broker, New York, New Jersey, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Currently a real estate instructor, teach real estate in both Pennsylvania and New Jersey. We have CE coming up for those that are in Pennsylvania in about 2 months, ends May 31st. Currently am an author of a book, Property Management 2.0. It's on Amazon, shameless plug. Tonight we're going to talk about the wealth and an opportunity under the economic development in the housing section of the economic development portion of the NAACP. Just a little bit about the NAACP. It's one of the oldest, if not the oldest, Black organization in the country, over 113 years of history. It has championed some of the cases from Muhammad Ali to numerous of cases. However, I just wanted to talk to you about what the information is that we're presenting this evening. And the presenters have decades of experience, and I'll leave that to them to share the information. I'm just going to I want to just present a few fun facts. One of the 3 myths I like to bust in real estate. One of the myths is that a lot of people feel, number one, you need 20% down to buy a home. That's not true. We have mortgage professionals that can attest to that. So if anyone has any questions as it relates to that, you do not need 20% to buy a home. You can buy a home with less than 20% down. Myth number 2, I'm not credit worthy. I need a 700 FICO score. They too can answer that question. There are programs that no credit score is required. Some of the, it's a little more detailed with that FHA, VA, and the lenders can speak to that as well. And number 3 is running my credit will ruin my credit. Running my credit will ruin my credit. That is also not true. So without any further ado, I would like to present the presenters that we have here this evening. Donna Marshall, we met at a real estate training years ago, and she remembered and had my card and kept my card and reached back out, and the rest is history. We're here today. She presented some information of a program that I thought would be helpful to our community and help the community in ways that you'll see soon in a short moment. Donna has been in the mortgage industry for over 20 years. She's dedicated her last 10 years with Family First Funding, LLC. As a guest specialist helping home buyers obtain grant funds to assist the purchase of a home. She attended Brookdale Community College and studied business management. Also owns a small financial company providing bookkeeping services for small business, and she is a notary for the state of New Jersey. Her belief is that everyone needs to have roots in a community and deserves a home of their own. Let us welcome Miss Donna Marshall. Our second guest is her supervisor, her partner, Mr. Anthony Barber. He's been a loan officer for over 20 years, wealth of experience, decades of experience here, over 40 years of experience. For over 20 years, He has held several positions in the mortgage industry currently, and he's the VP of corporate sales for Family First Funding. Turning people into home owners is one of his passions. His other passion is his family. He has 15 children.
Oh,
Which, oh, I mean, that's a typo. I meant 5 children.
I almost fell off my chair.
Just joking. He has 5 children, which helps him to understand the importance of being a homeowner. He looks forward to working with you to make your home ownership dream come true. Family First Funding offers a high level of expertise, as you see, with decades of experience here in the mortgage banking services, as well as superior personal service to their clients. They take pride in knowing that the majority of their business comes from repeat clients and referrals. If you're getting repeat clients and referrals, then you must be doing something right. So without any delay, we're going to talk about 2 programs, and I'll leave it to the experts, and I'll stay in my lane. And the floor is yours, Mr. Anthony.
Well, thanks for having us tonight. It's a pleasure, and I've been in this business for a long time, and it really does make me feel proud when someone gets the keys to the house, and that's what we all do this for, and that's what we're all here for. So we wanted to talk to you tonight about something called the Cash Power program that we put together at Family First Funding. Do you want to put the slideshow up, or?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Two seconds here. This program is a good program. It definitely has the potential to level the playing field. I'll tell you that much. All right, here we go here. Share my screen. All right.
There you go.
All right.
Oh, I think
Need to go back one?
yeah, I think yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. So let's go to the next one. So here's how the Cash Power program works. What we're trying to do here is, in this competitive market, we're trying to let buyers come in and purchase homes with cash, because it's so competitive. If you're a cash buyer, you may have a leg up on the competition. Now, we've seen throughout the country other lenders doing this. So we put together our own unique program called the Cash Power program. And the reason we did that is because there are other entities out there offering this. But as you'll see, we did it as something to be an addition to our borrowers, not a income revenue stream.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a difference between this program and some others like it out there. The others like it, the borrower is going to be paying a minimum of 4% we've seen to up to 6% to get this. The difference with us, and you'll see in a few slides, is we are way, way cheaper than what the other competitors are doing out there. So we looked at those items and said, we want to come up with something that's unique. So let me go through it. So the Cash Power program, what it does, it puts the buyers in position to make a cash offer on a property so that their offer may get looked at more favorably than a mortgaged offer. And how do we do that? So we're waiving an appraisal contingency. There's no financing contingency. What we're doing is we're going up front with these people, and we're underwriting their file. As soon as they come in, we're identifying that they may be a good candidate for this program, and we're doing an upfront underwrite without a property. So you go to the next slide. So they can make offers in confidence and not have any stress with hey, is my offer going to be good enough? Their offers typically as cash offers, as you know, as a realtor, get looked at first.
Mhm.
So that was the whole meaning behind this program. You go to the next slide. So what we do is when they're making this cash offer, we want them to stick out from the crowd. The listing agent's going to look at it, and we think it's going to be more favorable. So you go to the next slide. So here's what happens. A client comes to us and we interview them. We take an application from them. We recognize that they have the correct credit score, the correct down payment. And that's when we'll say, hey, look, we have this cash power program. We'll let their agent know. Their agent then takes it. You go to the next slide. And this is how it breaks down, the cash power program. These are the guidelines for it. So you have to have, if in order to put only put 15% down, get an 85 LTV, you have to have a 720 credit score. If you're putting 20% down, if you have the ability to put 20% down, you have to have a 660 credit score. Once again, some of the other programs out there in the market require a much higher credit score, and a lot of them won't go to an 85 loan to value. Debt to income ratio, we don't want it to be over a 43. So this program is not going to be for everybody, but it's going to be for some buyers that have taken care of their credit and have really, did some work to be able to buy a home. It does go through Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. So it has to go through DU or LP. And that's an automated underwriting system that gives an approval. It could be used for a single family, a condo, or a PUD or townhouse. It has to be a owner occupied primary residence.
No multifamily?
No.
Wonderful.
They're just doing
Single. Okay.
singles right now.
Right.
There is maybe a multi coming out, but right now they're doing single. It's going to be allowable on conforming and high balance loans. And that's going to go off the FHFA county limits for the current year. The minimum loan size we'll do is $150,000. As of now, we don't want to do it for self-employed people. We will do it with somebody who has a job and is getting paid W-2. You have to have a minimum 2-year work history. Down payments, gifts are allowed with a minimum contribution of 5% for all borrowers. That's a standard Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac rule. Earnest money deposit of 5%. So we want you to be able to put 5% down at the time of signing the contract. We want to make sure that, there's some skin in the game for the borrower. They're serious, especially if, we're going to wind up buying this home. We want them to have some skin in the game there. Title must be ordered by one of the approved Family First Funding title companies. That list is growing, but right now there's a list of 3 or 4, but we're going to grow that list a little bit. We want to make sure that we're working with a title company that we know that's going to give us clear title. Because if we're going to take title to this property and eventually get it over to the borrower, we want to make sure there's nothing encumbering that title. So we definitely want to make sure it's clean title. So we're going to be a little strict with title companies for now. Obviously, if they take on any new debt during the process, they still have to be able to qualify. It's standard like any other mortgage. Here's the part where I was saying, most lenders that we see to have this program are anywhere from 4 to 6% that they're charging the borrower to do this. We're charging a 2% origination fee. And as long as they perform, providing the documentation that they're supposed to provide in a timely fashion, we're going to rebate 1% back to them. So essentially, we're doing this program for a 1% charge, which, like I said, is way, way below what the competitors are doing out there. We're giving this pre-approval, it's going to be good for 45 days. And we think with this program, it's going to make a difference for this, crazy competitive market. I included in here, a little more detailed step-by-step with it. I guess you're going to share this presentation, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't want to bore you with going over specific details. I will answer any questions you have, but this is what you want to look at if you have some interest in this program, or somebody who may. This is what they're going to want to see. They're going to want to see this slide here that gives them, some granular information about what it is. Like I said, I don't want to take all your time up tonight and go through this line by line, but this is a real good timeline of what's going to happen, how it has to happen. And if there's any questions, we can actually go through some questions now. I'll answer them. But here's Donna's information. Donna's going to be the point person for this, as well as the grant specialist. Donna is the best grant lender around. I can't say enough about what she does for people.
Right.
It's amazing. So, all right, go ahead.
So I have a couple questions, and I'm not sure if there's anybody in the audience. I don't know if Craig is still on, or if there's any questions coming from Facebook, or if they are, then I'll get them to you. But I just wanted to ask you just a couple of things for those that may not know. Can you explain what the 4 to 6% and the waive? You said it waives the appraisal is waived.
Correct. So yeah, the 4 to 6%. So that's a fee that the competitors are charging. So if it's a $200,000 cash deal, if you're paying 4%, it's $8,000. If you're paying 6%, it's $12,000 to use this cash program. With us, we're going to charge you $4,000, but as long as you perform and you give everything, all the documents, and do everything you're supposed to do, we're going to rebate you $2,000 of that when it goes back into your name. If in fact we do buy the property and you use the cash program, as long as you do everything you're supposed to do, we're going to rebate you $2,000 of that when we get it back into your name.
All right. So just so for the sake of clarity, right? Person says that they want to buy a house and they meet all the criteria, the 700 FICO score. Can you walk us through what those steps are, what that look like for an individual that do you buy the house for them?
Yeah, so the borrowers, it's going to go like this. The borrower is going to come to us. They're going to say, hey, we want a loan and we want to use this cash power program. So we're going to vet them. We're going to look at their credit. We're going to look at their assets. We're going to look at their income, just like we would if they had a property. We're going to underwrite them prior to them even having a property, right? Then we're going to issue them a cash pre-approval. So now that's just like having a proof of funds. So you've been in the business for a long time, right? So that's them making an offer. We're saying, hey, we're making a cash offer. If the selling side wants a proof of funds, we'll provide a proof of funds.
Okay.
So now offers accepted, right?
Right.
Typically it's a 30-day closing.
Right.
Correct?
Correct.
So now we have the file underwritten already before the offer is made. Now we go to Mr. Jones, who's buying this house. Say, Mr. Jones, great. We got you the offer. We already have his credit package approved. We already have his income package approved. And we already have his asset package approved. Now the only thing left to do is for us to vet the house to make sure that the value
based on, but how's that done without an appraiser?
we do it. We have a pretty high powered AVM.
Got it. Okay.
So we know before we issue that cash, we're pulling an AVM on that property. And we're able to loan off that AVM.
So for those that may not know what that language is, what is AVM? So
automated value.
Okay, got you.
So we're taking an automated value where the industry is heading towards that anyway.
Yeah.
So I would say in a few years the appraiser going out and measuring the house with his wheel and and making a sketch and doing all that, that's probably going to be passe pretty soon because everything is going to be automated very soon. So and we do have a vehicle where we have a pretty solid AVM that we could feel confident to be able to lend with.
Got you. So in other words, so now a person that's going out going out to purchase a property, they come to you now, and up there now they have, instead of a pre-approval, they have cash, and they can present themselves as I'm offering cash to you for your property
Correct.
as a loan, FHA loan where I'm putting 3.5% down, or any of the things.
Well, no, it won't be an FHA loan. It's going to be
as opposed to that.
opposed to that. Correct. Yes.
Yeah, got you. Okay. And what would the down payment, you mentioned 5% down, you can get down, you can.
No, it's a 15% down
Okay.
with earnest money of 5%.
Earnest money of 5% down. Okay.
Which earnest money, if for those who may not know, earnest money that's the money that you're going to put up in good faith, showing that you're going to move forward with this transaction.
Got you.
So there's a 15% down option with a 720 credit score,
Mhm.
and a 20% down option below that to a 660.
Up to 660. Okay.
Down to 660, correct.
Down to 660. Okay. So 660 is the minimum FICO score to qualify for this program.
With 20% down, correct.
With 20% down.
720 with 15% down. Now,
Got
like I said, this isn't going to fit all borrowers,
Right.
but we have to start somewhere. We want to dip our toe in the waters with this program, and then we may be able to expand it once we see how it works.
So there's no appraisal fee for the buyer, correct?
There'll be an AVM fee. There won't be a full appraisal $400 or $500 fee. I'm sure we're paying for the valuation, so that'll get passed on like normal lenders do.
And that's a plus. There's no appraisal.
Yep.
Now, one other thing that I wrote a question mark down to possibly for someone that may not have an understanding of it. You mentioned conforming and non-conforming. Can you explain what that is? For someone that may not know what that is?
Yeah. So conforming is your regular loan amount, depending on where you're at. It's below a jumbo loan or below a high balance loan. So in certain counties, they're high balance counties.
Mhm.
Here in New Jersey, it's upwards of 600,000 now. And it gets you better financing when you stay under that high balance. It's a less risky loan for the bank because they're lending you less money.
Gotcha.
So that's set by the agencies, by FHFA.
Mhm.
They set those limits.
So down payment, no self-employed, W
For now.
only
For
for now. W. Okay, no self-employed for now. 5% down. The property, is there a limit on what the property should well, we're not using an appraisal, but
Right.
the value, what is that threshold? Does it have to fit within a certain perimeter?
Yeah. So if let's say we do an AVM, right? And we say that, hey, that we are valuing the property at 400,000, and the purchase price goes to 420. So we're going to loan you 85 or 80% of the 400
Mhm.
that our AVM recognizes. If you want to continue with the purchase, you'd have to bring that difference. But we're pretty confident that the AVM is going to be really close. It's used by some major players in the game. So we're pretty confident that, but we do, like every contract now, we do tell people, listen, if you bid it up, you got to beware of, what you may be in for, if you go above and beyond. The idea of this cash program is to help people not to go above and beyond. Because I'm sure as an agent, you see people out there offering $50,000 more than the house is going to appraise for. And then they have to scramble to figure out what they're going to do after the house comes in $50,000 under.
Absolutely.
That's what we're trying to avoid here. For
Right.
trying to get people not to overpay because they're making an offer with cash.
That makes sense. So the intent and the reason that was really the main reason. I mean, for those that are watching or that may see this and they're writing 10, 12 offers on a property and losing them to cash deals, know what it's like to go up against a cash buyer and just lose and lose
Over and over and over again.
over and over again. So, when I heard this information, we thought it might be very helpful for the community, for those that, and it's not for everyone.
Nope.
It's not a program for everyone. So if you don't mind, maybe Donna can share with us maybe some information on the grant programs that are available, that might be available, and she can give us some information on how can the grant won't be, this is not something that the grant will work with.
No, not now, not yet.
Okay, got you. So maybe some grant, share with us a little bit on the grants that you all have.
Thank you so much for inviting us first, Maurice. I'm very excited to share some information with you. So I am the grant specialist here for Family First Funding, and there is grant money out there for everybody. Here in New Jersey, we have one program. It's called the HMFA. It's a $10,000 grant that you don't pay back as long as you keep the home for 5 years. At any time, if you wanted to refinance or sell the home, you would owe that $10,000 back. The income limits are very high. It's really a better program. It's a state program that, being the income limits are so high and the county limits are much lower for like household size, this program allows a whole household and only count the income of the borrower. And some of the income limits go up to like 150, some of them are $160,000. They have several programs. They have a first-time home buyer program. They have a homeward bound program where the debt to income ratios are a little bit higher. They have a police and fireman program where the rate is only 2.83 right now, which is a great rate in today's market for anybody that's in, that type of service. The grants are easy. We do everything here. We are the approved lender for the HMFA, and they just recently rolled out a new program that's conventional. They never had it before. It's called the HFA program, and that's their conventional version. It's a little tougher. They want better credit, and we put it through what's called the Home Possible program. But the grants are for everybody, and we have grants. I'm approved lender on a lot of different counties. I'm in Pennsylvania. We have anywhere in New Jersey, Florida, and we actually can do grants all over the United States. And I can get more into that. People
licensed about 37, 38 states. So
yeah, we're in a lot, but I mean, there's so many grants that people don't even know exist. And if I can't fit them into one, I'm looking into another program for them, and I'm doing that application. They're not really doing it. The credit scores are 620. And if they're not at a 620, we work with somebody like Maurice to get their scores up. We have, other sources of ways to improve their credit and let them know that you may be at a 500 something right now, but to get that grant money, you need that 620 score. And we will work. Sometimes we work with people for 3-4 months, a year, or, a week, depending on, what has to be done to help them get that money. And the money really never, ever runs out. They say it does, but it doesn't. And we're the bank that actually here in New Jersey, we actually lend the 10,000, and then the state pays us back. So there's not a lot of extra, time that's needed. It's about a 4 to 10 day turn time up at the state once we upload the documents to them. So the program's great, and you can actually get back up to $3,000 at closing with the New Jersey HMFA.
Wow.
It's a
So
beautiful program.
yeah, that's definitely not heard of often, to be able to get cash back at closing.
Yes, and you can, and it's real, people-
I will say it's not the norm, but it is possible.
Yeah.
It does happen. No, they can actually get that back as long as they've put out money. And if back in the day here, when we had sellers concessions and stuff and that additional money, they are allowed to get that money back.
Yeah, so just let's clarify a little bit. So yeah, if they paid for an appraisal and we
Yes.
show proof that they paid for their appraisal.
Or the down payment, they give a
Yeah.
good faith deposit.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
I have a question on the income limits. So you said that there were multiple income limits. Usually they may be set. So what determines the income limit?
The income limits are determined by where you're actually purchasing. So some of the income limits go up to, like I said, 165,000. However, that might be in the Homeward Bound program. In the first time home buyers program, depending on the county that you're looking for to live in, that's what sets the income limit for anybody that's going to be on the mortgage. So if there's more than one borrower, we would combine those two incomes and place them, in that income bracket. And if they don't fit in that one, then I look at the next, program for them, which would be Homeward Bound, which allows for higher income limits and higher debt to income ratios.
Got you. So what income limit means, for those that may not know, is how much you make per year. So right. So is that say that's what that means, right? Based on the income.
Yeah, it's your annual income.
Okay.
And typically, like Donna explained, the main program, they only look at the borrower's income. They don't look at household income. A lot of other programs, they look at household income. So you have to combine, if there's 3 adults there, you have to combine all 3 incomes. And
you don't
sometimes,
qualify in some cases.
sometimes it disqualifies it.
Got you. So the benefit to this one is in other programs where you're adding the other household members, they won't be disqualified because they're other household members in the property. Is that
Correct.
okay? Oh, man. And the credit score is a 620 minimum. I think I
Yes,
heard.
most of the grant programs are at a 620. A lot of your county programs, some of them do require a 640 score, but most of them are definitely a 620.
So,
Each program has its own guidelines. So every county, if you're on a county level, that has their own program and guidelines, and you might have to live in that particular area to be able to get their program, where the HMFA does not require. You can come from New York, Pennsylvania, anywhere, move into New Jersey and have that grant money available to you.
okay, so how can someone that's hearing this and saying, this is just what I've been looking for, man, where you been, how can they get a hold of you?
My contact information, I believe, is on that screen, but they can definitely give me a call at 732-606-4156. And I am available 7 days per week till 9 p.m. at night. I do not like to take calls after 9 p.m.
So I'm putting your number in the chat. Okay, great. Anthony, beat me to it. I ain't got to put yours in. So
Thank
for
you.
those that may be viewing this later, your contact information will be in the chat. And those that want the information now, there it is right there inside the chat. Oh, there's another slide?
Yeah, if you go to the last slide, that has all of Donna's contact info.
Oh, there we go. Wow. Okay, let me do that. Yeah, it's already ready.
I was hoping you were going to end on that one.
Got you. Bam, there it is.
There we
There
go.
it is.
There we
So there's
go.
Donna's info. I will say Donna, is it okay if I share your nickname?
All right.
What is the closer or something? A closer?
They all call her Mama Marshall because she takes care of her clients like she's their mother.
Nice.
The truth.
So it's when you get Donna as your loan officer, you've been blessed.
You know, sometimes that's important when you're purchasing one of the largest purchases in your lifetime. You need someone to help you walk you through it. You
I
know,
agree.
And my belief is everybody deserves to own a home. Everybody does. We just got to get them there.
absolutely. You know, I like to say most people are 90 days away from being credit ready, home ready to purchase a home, unless there's some real extenuating circumstances. You know, you can get you there. Like you said, if you're not ready, we can do some things, see what your credit looks like, and begin the process.
I'd like to give you one more bit of information.
Please.
Most of these programs that are called first-time home buyers programs, the guideline for that is a person who hasn't owned a home in the last 3 years
Glad you
is
said that.
considered a first-time home buyer and can get that $10,000 grant. We have some grants that are $100,000, but that's something we can always talk about later on where they're at.
Well, that was one of the next myths that I was going to add, because you just clarified it, that you just defined what a first-time home buyer is. So as long as you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years, that qualifies you for the programs of what a first-time home buyer may be available to you. So I
That's
think-
correct.
So Donna's information is on the screen, and for those that may not be able to see, and if they're listening, it is 732, the office number 732-505-4600, extension 304. Cell phone is 732-670-164. And the email is dmarshall@fam1fund.com. And that's DMARSHALL at F, the ampersand, FAM, the number 1, FUND.com. So would you have any closing remarks, Donna, that you like to leave, and that you would think that those viewers may be able to benefit from, that's going to see this, or that may be watching now, that they could benefit from in this market? The rates have went up a little bit. That's going to be a benefit. You see, that's going to be a challenge, or is it still a good time to jump in the
It's
market?
still a good time. I really believe that it's a good time for anybody, even though the rates are up a little bit. On the grant side of it, don't forget, you're going to get that extra 10,000. So maybe you can utilize your own money to pay down some of your debts, which will keep that mortgage payment down as well, and what you're spending on a monthly basis. Our cash program, that's a wonderful tool. Like Anthony said, not everybody's going to qualify for that, but that's why we have other programs. Again, we are, direct lenders, we're FHA, VA, we do conventional, we do commercial lending as well. And, we have the opportunity to help most people that are looking to purchase a home, regardless of their, situations.
And in regards to interest rate, I'll add one little tidbit. What is the interest rate on rent?
Ah,
Right?
That's perfect. That's great.
So,
got me on that one.
so you tell me what you can tell me what the interest rate is on rent, and we could talk about the interest rates going up on a mortgage. At the end of the day, your rent goes to that landlord, which he's grateful for, and we want you to pay. If the rates go up to 6%, it still makes sense to buy a house.
Absolutely. You're making a payment towards your own home instead of someone else's mortgage.
Correct.
Not to mention the tax benefits that come with home ownership. So not to mention the stability. There's studies that show that children that are raised in a home versus raised in a rental property are more stable. they have less problems in school. So there's a lot of reasons and a lot of data and receipts to support, why you should purchase.
Yeah,
You know.
and it's the quickest way to start building wealth.
And it's the quickest way to start building wealth. Absolutely. How about yourself, Anthony? You have any closing remarks or anything you'd like to share that you would?
Like Don said, everybody does deserve to own a home. And it's my life's mission and Donna's as well, to make sure that we can do that for people. Whether it's we look at a person buying a $75,000 house versus compared to someone buying $1 million house, doesn't matter. They're all equally as important. So we just want people to own homes. If it takes us a year, I've worked with people for over a year to get them ready to be able to buy a house. And it's almost like I'm just as happy as they are when they close on that house, because you see all the work they did to get where they need to be, and it's just rewarding. It's maybe not as rewarding as the birth of my 15 kids. I mean 5 kids, but it is a blessing.
I could have swore there was a 1 in front of that 5. I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. It was a 1.
I think I lost some hair when you made that comment.
No, man, we appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you taking your time and sharing. Part of one of a series. We would like to impart information on the community and make information like this available, tangible information that's real and that can be utilized. So definitely, we would like to have you back.
We're here whenever you need us, because
thank you.
Like I said, it's what we believe in.
Yep. And imparting some information on, to our viewers and to the public and to our community, to our, to the underserved, so that we can, help them to get into a home. That's it for myself. If you don't have anything, we'd like to give you your night back. And thank you for coming out and taking the time to share your experience and your products with us. And look forward to doing some business and helping some folks.
And we look forward
Thank you for having us.
For having us.
Thank you.